The day starts with some major news. The senior members of Swabian Temple are dipping for a mandatory meeting, which sounds super official and kind of a drag. This leaves the whole place in the hands of the newer disciples, which feels like a huge responsibility drop out of nowhere. Before they leave, there's a surprise promotion. Belle is asked to officially become a disciple, which is a big glow-up from her preliminary status. It's a whole ceremony involving tea, which feels both traditional and low-key nerve-wracking. The initiation ceremony is surprisingly chill. Belle serves tea to her new shifu, and just like that, it's official. Everyone's super welcoming, calling her junior sister. It feels less like a stuffy ritual and more like being officially welcomed into the friend group, which is a total win. Turns out, the formal ceremony is usually a much bigger deal, with oaths and a 2-year waiting period. But Shifu basically said, "Nah, that's too much work." The main reason for skipping the long vows is that she can't even remember them. A little drama kicks off when Belle finds out Wise already had his ceremony while she was sleeping. He's technically her senior now, which feels like a total scam. Belle immediately suspects he messed with her alarm, and the playful sibling-style rivalry is already starting to show. Down in the city, there's beef between some miners and a corporate-looking dude in a suit. They're arguing over who found a valuable resource first. The suit guy is giving major "I'm better than you" energy, talking about how opportunity favors the prepared, which just makes everyone angrier. The conflict is about a newly accessible area called Timesworn Hills, which is loaded with unmined lumite ore. The corporation, Porskalunks, is playing dirty by poaching all the skilled workers, leaving the local miners with nothing. The frustration is real, and things are getting heated. Belle steps up, offering to help the miners as a proxy. She sees it as her first official training mission, which is some serious main character energy. The plan is set to dive into the hollow and secure the resources before Porskalunks can snag everything for themselves. Minotto mentions bringing along an online friend he met through a spooky forum called Spook Shack. She's visiting in person, and he describes her as having a unique personality. The idea of bringing a random internet friend on a dangerous mission sounds chaotic in the best way. The meeting with the online friend, Lucia, is as weird as promised. She introduces herself by her username, Night Emissary, and wants to shout out screen names during combo attacks. Her whole vibe is quirky and intense, fully committed to the ghost hunting aesthetic from her online life. Lucia explains that Monotoe's username is Aratamaru, which she thinks is perfect for battle cries. Her own name, Night Emissary, is tied to something called the Night Horror. She's basically a walking encyclopedia of spooky lore and is super passionate about it, ready to give a full lecture. Lucia is convinced they're hunting mythical creatures called ore spirits, which possess people who mistake them for minerals. She even has a special concoction, ginger tongue sway, to reveal their true forms. The others are skeptical, thinking it's just a made-up forum legend, but Lucia is determined. Lucia hands out her ginger tongue sway, instructing everyone to flick it on the ears of anyone suspicious. The others are not on board with this plan, thinking it's rude and likely to get them punched. The contrast between Lucia's paranormal focus and the group's practical mission is hilarious. While exploring, the group runs into Pal, one of the miners, but he's acting super strange. He's dressed like a mystic from Swabian Temple and is talking about banishing evil spirits. It's clear that the Hollow's corrupting energy is messing with his head, making him live out a fantasy. They then meet Moss, an old acquaintance of Monotoe who's been missing for 2 years. He's now a hollow investigator and seems to be guiding the delusional Pal. He invites them to a supposed town nearby, but the whole situation feels off, and Monotoe's instincts are screaming. The town turns out to be a creepy collection of abandoned houses covered in miasma tumors. Moss calls it a dream sanctuary where everyone is living out their ideal selves. Pal is there, along with West from Porskalunks, and they're all acting weirdly friendly and living in a shared delusion. The group realizes the corruption in this town is on another level. It's not just making people aggressive, it's making them reconcile and live out fantasies. Minotto wants to just knock them out and drag them back, but the others suggest investigating and talking to people first. Moss explains the concept of drowned ideals. He claims they are dreams bound by reality, now freed by the miasma. He suggests Monotoe has also strayed from his childhood dream and could find it again in the town. It's a seriously creepy and philosophical take on the corruption. Suddenly, a mysterious ethereal moth appears, bringing a thick, disorienting fog of miasma. The group gets separated, and communication is cut. The fog is dangerous, creating a tense escape sequence where they can hear but not see each other, adding a new layer of horror to the mission. In the fog, a mysterious figure appears who looks exactly like Minotto, but with a more intense and confident vibe. This lookalike claims to be the person Minotto dreamed of becoming, creating a bizarre and confusing confrontation. The miasma is clearly doing more than just creating simple illusions. The group pieces together that the miasma created a physical construct of Minotto's dream self. This is a different type of drowned ideal than the others, who were transformed directly. This one is a separate entity, a manifestation of Minotto's childhood ambitions and regrets, which is deeply unsettling for him. A new theory emerges. The people in the town, like Pal and Moss, might just be miasma constructs with their real bodies hidden somewhere else. Moss's previous comment about the auditorium having something important suddenly seems like a major clue. The mission shifts to breaking into that building. Back at the temple, a new character named Bane arrives, sent by Shifu to help. This confirms that Shifu knew they were heading into danger, adding a layer of reassurance. It seems like even when she's away, she's still looking out for her disciples, which is a sweet moment. Wise explains the bizarre communication disruption they experienced. They could see Belle's location data but couldn't get through, as if she were wrapped in layers of film. It highlights how little they understand the miasma, suggesting an unknown power is at play, making the town even more dangerous. The group meets with Miss Zhao from Porskalunks, who is temporarily in charge. It turns out one of her employees, West, is also missing in the town. This creates an unexpected alliance, as Porskalunks now has a vested interest in rescuing the trapped people, not just mining ore. Miss Zhao provides the team with a new piece of tech, the Lumen Box. It's a theoretical device designed to stabilize ether and weaken miasma, potentially fixing their communication issues. It's an untested prototype, but at this point they're willing to try anything to get an edge. Back in the town, Moss claims that the scary ethereals they encountered, Lantern Bearer and Wandering Hunter, are just random phantoms that terrify everyone. He paints the drowned ideals as victims, not aggressors, but his story feels a little too convenient to be fully trusted. Lucia's chaotic energy comes in clutch as she manages to distract the guards in front of the auditorium. Her unpredictable nature creates the perfect opening for the team to sneak past and finally get inside the mysterious building that Moss was so protective of. Inside the auditorium, they find a girl trapped in a miasma cocoon. She's the only real human among all the non-human entities. Belle manages to free her, and it becomes clear this girl is the extremely important thing Moss was trying to hide. Her presence changes everything. The rescued girl, Yidhari, reveals she can't leave the hollow. Every time she gets near an exit, a dark vortex appears that only she can see, blocking her path. It's described as the curse of the hollow, a mysterious force that is physically preventing her escape. Yidhari reveals that she's also a proxy and knows of a safe house nearby. She guides them using a strange ability to see illusions of the past, following figures that no one else can see. This power is both a gift and a curse, as it also blurs her perception of reality. Inside the safe house, Yidhari's senses clear, and she can finally recognize everyone. She explains that her ability usually causes people and illusions from different times to overlap, making it impossible to distinguish reality. The safe house's stable environment helps her focus, which is a huge relief. In a wild twist, Yidhari is revealed to be Strawberry Parfait, the online friend Lucia was waiting for. She was lured into the hollow by a villain named Sarah, who exploited her powers to search for a door that exists in the past. This connects all the weird events together. On their way out, the group is ambushed by Lantern Bearer and Wandering Hunter. The fight is intense, and they notice Lantern Bearer looks like a younger version of Lucia. This deepens the mystery, suggesting the ethereals have a personal connection to the group that they don't yet understand. Back at the safe house, Moss appears and tells Yidhari she belongs to the town. He claims the one keeping her from leaving is herself. He invites her to see the town's most precious secret, something he calls the Cradle, promising it will explain everything about her connection to this place. The team regroups with Miss Jiao, who has more lumen boxes to create a moving safe house for Yidhari. They also learn that Lantern Bearer might be Lucia's drowned ideal. The plan is now twofold: rescue Yidhari and figure out the mystery behind Lucia's ethereal twin. As they re-enter the hollow, Belle experiences a strange vision, feeling like she's underwater. It's the first sign that something is affecting her personally. Meanwhile, Lucia reveals she doesn't really sleep at night because of the night horror, adding to her quirky and mysterious persona. At the safe house, Yidhari is gone. Belle touches the door handle and is flooded with images from Yidhari's past, seeing events through her eyes. Her smart lenses detect that her eyes are now connected to an unknown power, suggesting she's developing an ability similar to Yidhari's. Deep inside the auditorium, they find the hidden room, the Cradle. It's filled with cocoons containing the real, physical bodies of the town's folk. Yidhari is the prisoner whose power created the town, and the cocoons are sheltering people on the verge of turning into ethereals. Moss explains that the cocoons and the town are bound to Yidhari. If she leaves the hollow, the town will vanish, and everyone inside the cocoons will instantly turn into ethereals. This makes Yidhari both a prisoner and a reluctant protector, trapped by her own power. With the truth revealed, Moss becomes hostile, trying to force Belle to become part of the town. He sees her as a threat to his dream sanctuary. The confrontation escalates, and the drowned ideals are ordered to attack, turning the rescue mission into an all-out fight for survival. Minotto is confronted by his drowned ideal, who taunts him for choosing to protect his friends over pursuing personal strength. The dream version claims friendship is a weakness, forcing Minotto to face his past desire for solitary power versus his current loyalty to his found family. The team meets with Dylan, a cheerful colleague of Miss Zhao, who unveils Plan B. She introduces Master Lumen, a powerful prototype device that can absorb all the miasma in the Cocoon room, creating a temporary safe zone to free everyone without them turning into ethereals. Monotoe reveals the backstory of his drowned ideal. As a child, he was used and betrayed by a gang called the White Heart, making him swear to never trust anyone and to become strong on his own. This dream self is the embodiment of that lonely, vengeful boy he used to be. Lucia shares the story of her father, a special forces soldier who disappeared after a final game of hide-and-seek. This painful memory is why she's searching for the mind-reading monster, hoping it can tell her where he is. Her quirky obsession is revealed to be rooted in deep personal loss. The final operation begins. A joint search squad will launch a frontal assault on the town to draw attention, while Belle's team sneaks into the auditorium with Master Lumen. The plan is risky, relying on untested tech and precise timing to save everyone in the cocoons. Minotto faces his drowned ideal in their final duel. The dream version guards the auditorium, trying to force Minotto to cocoon and embrace his true self. It's a battle not just of swords, but of ideologies. The lone wolf versus the person who fights for his friends. Minotto rejects his old dream of solitary vengeance, choosing instead to be a shield for his loved ones. He realizes that protecting others is its own form of strength. With this newfound conviction, he defeats his drowned ideal, proving that his current self is the stronger one. As the team tries to activate Master Lumen, Minotto's defeated, drowned ideal has a change of heart. He sacrifices himself to force the device open, telling Minotto to show him a dream that's truly worth fighting for. It's a shocking and redemptive end for the manifestation of his past self. With the cocoons dissolving, Yidhari uses her fading power one last time to recreate the door to the past that Sarah was searching for. The team decides to go through, determined to find out where Sarah went and stop her plans, shifting the mission to a new, mysterious location. They meet little Lucia, who explains that she and Wandering Hunter, Ade, are just playing hide-and-seek. Wandering Hunter isn't a monster, he's a manifestation of her lost father. Every time she got tired, she'd ring a bell, and he would come pick her up and take her back to town. The group plays one final game of hide-and-seek with little Lucia and Wandering Hunter. The game is a metaphor for Lucia finally catching up with her father's memory. It's a deeply emotional sequence that allows her to find closure and say a proper goodbye to him. At the end of the game, Wandering Hunter delivers a final message to the older Lucia from her father, saying he's sorry and that she's all grown up now. Both the younger Lucia and Wandering Hunter then fade away, their purpose fulfilled, leaving Lucia with a sense of peace. The group discovers that Sarah's trail leads to an unstable ether fissure that only appears periodically. They can't follow her now, but they've marked the location to return later. The immediate threat is over, but the larger mystery involving Sarah and the Exaltists remains unresolved. With the curse broken, Yidhari is finally able to leave the Hollow and return home. The mission is a success, with everyone from the Cocoons rescued. The team members say their goodbyes, promising to meet again, bringing a satisfying close to the chaotic adventure in Lemnian Hollow. In a final funny twist, Belle meets a new disciple named Yuan Guang. Following Fufu's earlier instructions, Yuan Guang respectfully calls Belle Senior. After spending the whole adventure as a junior, Belle is now the senior, and her shocked reaction is absolutely priceless.